Hi my ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. Hope everybody is doing well. I've come on today because I've received this book from the team over at Liminal 11 and I'd forgotten all about it actually. It was a couple of weeks ago they contacted me. It might have even been before I went away. Just to say that, because I review tarot and oracle decks for them, and I'm not one usually to review books because I'm not a huge book person. Those of you who know me or will have seen a video where I've talked about it before. With ADD, I do struggle to read books. You know, I'm great with podcasts. I listen to them in the car. Some audio books. A book really has to grab me and hold my attention, and only then can I read it in small amounts, because of, you know, anybody with ADD will know that it's a really difficult thing to stay focused on reading. And I saw the title of this book about folklore, Fascinating Folklore, a compendium of comic and essays. And at first I thought, essays, yeah, I'm going to really struggle with that. So I did a little bit of digging into it, and I realised actually that it's kind of like in a graphic art style. And then when I saw what was kind of covered in here, it's got gods and goddesses in there. It's got people of legends and historical figures, mystical figures like the Selkie. There's a lot in this. And I was like, oh God, this looks, Carly, a whole piece on Carly. I just thought this is really, the Morrigan, really, really cool book. And I mentioned last year I bought The Queen of Wands, which is a book about Pamela Coleman Smith. And I really enjoyed this as well because, again, you can, not just so much for the illustrations, although they're really cool as well, but having this kind of bite-sized pieces of information, you tend to get the key salient points, and I really enjoyed reading that. It was interesting. So I thought, well, why not? Let's give it a go, and we can have a look and see, you know, what this book is all about. So as you can see here on the back, it says, what are books of folklore then, if not books of magic? Discover age-old legends with a modern twist. Fascinating Folklore collects timeless tales from around the world, each one accompanied by a striking comic that reimagines ancient stories for the modern era. And I just think that is such a cool concept. First seen going viral on Twitter under the hashtag Folklore Thursdays. And I remember reading about this. So each Thursday, there was I forget who it was. It was two people, which we'll come on to. Well, it's going to be PJ Holden and John Repion. So it says here on the back, what are books of folklore then, if not books of magic? Discover age-old legend with a modern twist. Oh yes, and it talks about, because the idea for this book was PJ Holden and John Repion, I think that might be how you say his name, PJ and John, would draw a different comic each week and put it on Twitter, and it had a hashtag called Folklore Thursdays, and that was the idea behind pulling this volume together. Fascinating Folklore collects timeless tales from around the world, each one accompanied by a striking comic that reimagines ancient stories for the modern era. I just think that's such a cool concept. First seen going viral on Twitter under the hashtag Folklore Thursday, these delightful essays and dynamic comics will take you on a journey into the unknown and beyond. Have you ever wondered what creatures lurk in the forests of the Pacific Northwest? Longed to find an island lost at sea, or heard strange alien broadcasts in the dead of night? Look no further. Fascinating folklore reveals the secrets behind all these mysteries and many, many more. And this reminds me as well, I will finish reading it, of a part work that I used to collect as a teenager called The Unexplained. And you know, these part works, they come out each week and they tend to last for about 2 years. The popular one that we'll all be familiar with is Total Tarot. And it's a thing in the UK, they've been going for years. And you could get binders to put them all in. But The Unexplained was fantastic. I just loved each issue. With over 50 stories and comics to explore, fascinating folklore has something for everyone. So open up these pages and get ready for a wild ride. You never know where this journey will take you next. So it's a hardback book. It's beautifully illustrated, as you can see here. Fascinating folklore, a compendium of comics and essays. I think the word essays might be a little bit misleading, because when I see essay, I think of something quite academic, something very in-depth, lots of text, and that's not what this is. It's quite a large, I want to say a large, it's, I don't know, would you say about 30 centimetres maybe a little bit shorter than that. Yeah, beautifully illustrated, really good quality paper, published in 2023 by Liminal 11. Look at these little two here. And then it says, I don't want to, if it repeats what it says on the back, but when John and PJ first come to us with their idea to draw a weekly comic using our Twitter hashtag of Folklore Thursday, I expected much from a collaboration between two of the comic world's most prolific figures. And if you are into comics, obviously you will know these guys. I'm not. They certainly did not disappoint. Will and I have been honoured and amazed to see seeds of the Folklore Thursday themes take root and grow. Oh, so it must be a different two people who did the hashtag for Folklore Thursday. And then it's PJ and John who have come up with the idea of pulling this book together. In short, this cleverly curated collection mixes the ancient and arcane with a refreshingly contemporary twist, yet it deserves so much more than a twee summation. It has achieved something no other offering I've come across before has managed. It preserves diverse cultural heritage in an entirely new way. Okay, and I think it says here, traditional folklore essays are often dry and academic. That's exactly what I was saying. While illustrated folklore books are usually oversimplified or presented as tales for children. So what it looks like is that this is going to be somewhere in between that. Okay, so this is what you get in the book. It's broken down into these categories. So we've got plant lore. So it tells you about hawthorns, mushrooms, mandrake, berries, etc. And then creatures and cryptids. We got cat, pig, selkie. Figures of legend. So we'll see here we've got Sphinx, Beowulf, Sin Eater. So, and then we have gods and spirits. We've got Morrigan. We've got Carly. I don't know. I can't pronounce some of these. What is that one? I almost read that as cellophane. Kadama. We've got festivals. Interesting. We've got egg hunt. We've got Halloween. Objects of mystery. We've got shoe, obelisk, grimoire, and then places of wonder. So we've got a labyrinth, we've got island. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the introduction. The volume you hold in your hands grew from a seed planted accidentally in 2019. On the 3rd of July that year, John posted a tweet. So it's coming from this Twitter. What do we call them now? Because Twitter is X. So we wouldn't say tweets, would we? I wonder what they refer to now. There was a Catholic church just down the road. Every week you'd hear the Sunday service bell tolling. They knocked it down a few years ago to make way for houses which remain unbuilt. The plot stands empty, wild and overgrown, alive now with chirping fledglings. Nature's Church. Inspired, PJ created a 7-panel, 1-page comic dividing the tweet's text up into captions. I hope you don't mind, he tweeted at John, and John replied that he definitely did not. The comic, titled Nature's Church, was posted to Twitter and people really seemed to like it. PJ and John decided that they should do more of these little Twitter comics. Maybe they could manage one a week. What would they be about, though? The Folklore Thursday hashtag trended weekly on Twitter with brand new comics. So it was PJ and John. I got a little bit confused back there as to who started the weekly tweets. Okay, so I've already gone through what the contents of the book, what's in the book in terms of its content and how it's broken down into categories. But we'll just quickly have a look at some. So this is hawthorn. So it tells you all about the hawthorn. In Irish folklore, fairy thorns, it's easy to say, are lone trees, most often hawthorn, which are believed to belong to the fae. These trees must not be touched lest the fair folk become displeased with those who have disturbed them. Look at that beautiful oak. That looks like major oak. Oh, it sounds like there's a protest happening outside. I don't know if it'll pick up on camera. Then we've got mushroom. In Britain and Irish folklore, it has long been recorded that fairy rings mark the spot where the fae dance around and around in a circle, often by moonlight, and especially on May Eve and Halloween. This is really cool. This is going to be... Oh, there's a mandrake. I only know that, and I'm not a Harry Potter fan, but we went to York a few weeks ago, as you'll have seen if you watch the vlog, and a friend went into the Harry Potter shop and came out with a mandrake, and it looked just like that. Actually, it was smiling. It wasn't screaming. But there's the old legend, is it, that when you pull a mandrake, they scream. The most enduring myth surrounding the mandrake is that this strange quasi-human plant refuses to be uprooted. The scream emitted by a mandrake root when prized from its soil is said to be so ear-splitting and so terrible that it may kill anyone who hears it or else render them forever insane. Wow. So you can see how it's laid out. I love the illustrations. Really love the illustrations. And there's just enough information, especially for me. It might not be for everybody. People might want in-depth kind of academic level essays, but I don't. I want to be able to, if I hear something in particular, I want to be able to pull this book and have a look through and read about it. We've got bees. Let's have a look at bees on 32. I mean, I know they're kind of becoming endangered, aren't they? Bees. Tate and Lyle is a British food ingredient. Yeah, they make a lot. They make sugar as well over here. Tate and Lyle, as well as Silver Spoon, is a British food ingredient manufacturer. It was formed in 1921 when two rival sugar refiners, Henry Tate and Sons and Abraham Lyle and Sons, merged into a single company. This is obviously talking about attracting bees, I suppose. Tate & Lyle's golden syrup, oh that's lovely, has been one of the company's most recognisable products since its release in 1885. Still sold today in tins, which to modern eyes looks more like paint pots than food containers. The strange image and motto have their origins in an Old Testament text, chapter 14 of the book of Judges. In the verse, Samson, he of the famous betrayal by Delilah, offers a riddle. Out of the eater came forth meat, and out of the strong came forth sweetness. None could solve his riddle, so Samson explained that he had killed a lion and later saw that bees had made a hive in its corpse. So it's interesting. This wasn't, and here's the picture lot of the dead and decaying lion and the bees, and Samson here. Sorry if you can hear this protest. There's some sort of march going past. Cat. I guess that's about being a witch's familiar. I mean, I'm not going to take too long to go through this because I could spend all day, you know, really diving into each story, and this would be a very long video. I just wanted to be able just to kind of make you aware of it, really. But the illustrations are fantastic. And I don't know, you know, a lot of these. I know about the Selkie, of course. This is going to get louder and louder as it approaches. Figures of legend. So we've got Boadicea. Look at that. And we have Beowulf. Sphinx. It's really, really cool, this is. Look at this. Sin Eater. Petrified. Gods and can't speak. Gods and spirits. Now I wanted to say Kanunos, but that's not Kanunos. It's Shronos. Shronos? I've not heard of this at all as a god. Not heard of him. Means time in ancient Greek. And Shronos himself was the personification of time in early Greek philosophy, usually depicted as an aged, bearded man. He is often conflated with the Titan Kronos, the god of agriculture. Okay, so it's good to hear about him. Morrigan. The Morrigan is perhaps one of the strangest deities in Irish Celtic mythology. Could be cool to read. Carly, look at that depiction of Carly. Isn't that fantastic with the long tongue? The goddess Kali is one of the Mahavadya, great wisdoms, a group of 10 Hindu tantric goddesses. I've got the Kali oracle actually. This is really interesting. And then we have festivals, celestial. Look at that. With this stone circle. The celestial equator follows the same plane as the terrestrial equator. Egg hunt for Easter time. The Easter bunny. I love how this text is done in an egg shape. Jack in the Green, so the Green Man. Wow, link to the May Queen. Castleton in Derbyshire, that's literally 40-minute drive from here. There's some amazing caves at Castleton. The Castleton Caves, love it there. In Castleton, Derbyshire, May the 29th is known as Garland King Day. The Garland King, Castleton's own Jack in the Green, rides a cart horse which is donned with a large wooden frame completely covered in flowers and greenery. I'm going to have to go and try and see that one year. Look at that, look at it. It's beautiful. Halloween. So I wondered why. So we've gone straight into the Jack of the Green Lantern into these pictures without it introducing it, but I could see, you know, trick or treat, jack-o'-lantern, but yeah, so it goes into Halloween. Gandroid, Saturnalia, objects of mystery, and I noticed shoe, and I'm intrigued to find out why a shoe is an object of mystery. Let's have a look. In 1950s, Miss June Swan was the keeper of the Boot and Shoe Museum in Northampton. That reminds me of Kinky Boots. That was based in Northampton. Miss Swan noted that people were often bringing shoes into the museum which they had found hidden in parts of their home or place of business. She began to keep a distinct record of those finds. By 1969, Miss Swan had recorded 129 such discoveries, and by 1986, that number had grown to 700. Today, the Northampton's Museum Concealed Shoe Index contains records of over 2,000 such finds, with 3 or 4 new entries being made each month. The exact reason behind the hiding of shoes within the fabric of a building remains a topic of much discussion and conjecture. The ensuring of fertility is one theory, the idea being that the worn shoe of a mother or a healthy child might somehow imbue the building it was hidden in with fertility and maternal health. That's interesting. You wouldn't think, would you, that shoe would be in here. Then we've got food. General, I'm assuming. Every child known for. Okay, we've got stone, obelisk. What else have we got? We've got the grimoire. Ooh. And then we've got places of wonder. So Ireland, Dragoni. Look at that. Sleeping monsters. Really, really cool. I like that we've got some blank pages every so often with these little illustrations, but I think that's so you can write some notes because I've noticed it quite a few times in the book. There's these kind of blank pages. Now I'm not going to find any, am I? Now I've said that, but you would have seen them as I went through. Here's another one. They appear so often. Labyrinth. I love labyrinths. And mazes, look at that. Again, another blank page to write a few things on. And then we've got firelight. Oh, look at that. So yeah, a really, really cool book, and a little bit about Holden and Repion, if that's how you say his name, but PJ and John. So yeah, there you are. It's fascinating folklore. I'm assuming, I mean, you can buy it from Liminal 11. I'll put the information there if it's been released yet, that is. Very often they send things in advance of release, but I'll have a look. Or you can pre-order it on other sites as well. I'm just trying to see if it's got a price. $16.99, which I don't think is bad at all. It's the average price for a hardback book, really. And as you can see, the quality is great and the illustrations are fantastic. So, Fascinating Folklore, a compendium of comics and essays. Let me know your thoughts. I'll be on at the weekend for Cuppa Catch Up in Cards, Saturday at 7 p.m, so hopefully see you then. Until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.